Italy. So much history and so many interesting towns to explore. Today we are visiting two small towns in the northwest of Rome, and specifically Anguillara Sabazia on Lake Bracciano and Sutri. Let's go! Yeah, Alex noticed that there are no boats on the lake. And we are going inside the old town. We start our trip at the entrance to the medieval part of Anguillara Sabazia, and right away we see the main Pope's palace. The cross on the terrace shows that the palace used to belong to the Pope, and now it belongs to the government. Our stroll along the narrow town streets brings us to a small square revealing one of the town's secrets, the remains of a pre-Roman settlement dating back to approximately the 5th or the 4th century BC.
Ah, very nice. Clean water, right?
Another town secret, the remains of a Roman-era villa, Grondarella. Here you can see untouched walls built by the ancient Romans. How cool is that? The Grondarella Historic Alley leads us to a magnificent view of the lake and the medieval church.
Oh wow, this is cool.
Ed è solo questa l'unica caratteristica che le rende, diciamo così, minori rispetto alle altre.
A little bit of Italian atmosphere and our exploration of tiny local shops. Just 2 steps away from the old town, and this medieval town turns into a very nice touristic town with beautiful beach on the lake and with lots of restaurants, gelaterias, creperias. There's not many boats here. It used to be a pier, but not anymore. Right on the shore, we discovered a cute little church and decided to walk inside. It was a very nice ending to our visit to this lovely town. Our next stop is the ancient city of Sutri and its most important monument, the Roman amphitheater. Sutri stands on a limestone cliff, and some of its monuments are carved into the cliff, like this tomb site here. This necropolis represents several burial places on various levels and dates back to somewhere between 1st century BC and 2nd century AD. According to the internet, Sutri's foundation is mysterious, and it dates back to the Bronze Age. We are walking up the hill to an 18th century villa, and here we have a beautiful view of the medieval town center. Villa Savarelli with its lovely garden and the labyrinth in Renaissance style. And finally,
Oh, this is Roman amphitheater. Wow.
the amphitheater could host events with up to 7,000 people, but despite its large dimensions, it was only discovered in the 19th century.
This is Roman amphitheater, so they cut it right in the rock. It's pretty soft rock, and you can still see the seats. It's super cool. Each layer was built in different part of the history, so starting from 1st century, and then some Etruscan stones in 1st century, and all the way to medieval ages. This is, look at it, yeah, this is the true stones. But look at this, this was a door. Look up.
Yeah, but then they built.
Oh, this was to reinforce the door. That's medieval probably times, so the door was lifting up. And this was another door before that. Look at that, there's another door. No, this is medieval. I think this is maybe Etruscan or Rome. Oh, that's very cool from here. Yeah. Probably ancient Rome structure. Fell and there's a house on top of it.
The basements of the houses date back to the ancient Rome. To build the house, the Romans carved out the stones out of the limestone cliff and built houses on top of these artificially created caves. And the caves were used as cellars, or are still used as cellars. The big stones date back to the 1st century, and on top of them were created medieval buildings with smaller stones.
Man-made cave. This was just carved in stone, used for storage. And then, so this is bigger stone, and then bricks, and then some other stones. So, through centuries, this house was built bigger and bigger. 1608. And that's the upper part, that's medieval. It's a very cool town. Another very cool street. That's very cool fountain. This is a laundry. Laundromat. Да. Laundromat. Basically they were washing stuff right here on those stones. Another city gate, much newer, much more modern than the other one. Medieval. Some monks from this monastery guarded the city, controlled the gate, access to the city. This church and clock tower was rebuilt, renovated multiple times, but the first mention of this is 1053. This is church. A very nice fountain. Huh? 12th century, holy moly. This is the city's main square. Big fountain. Trattoria. And then and that's Pope's house. Palazzo Comunale.
Inside the palace, there is an exhibition with antique artifacts. Inside the yard, we could see Roman statues, tombstones, and even a fountain made out of sarcophagus. Here is the fountain. And some modern art too.
Another square. It looks like we have some local vendors selling stuff. Bread.
And an Italian feast was a nice ending of our cultural adventure and this beautiful day.
Okay, we ordered cold cuts for 4 people. 4 people. This is what we got. Cheeses, 3 types. And absolutely count. Oh, honey! They give us honey for cheese. For cheese. An absolutely countless number of sausages, bread, and this is prosciutto with olive oil.
And these wraps are warm.
And there's some wraps.